Jarond Suman is going to tell us why film is not dead yet.
On November 22nd, 1963, Abraham Zapruder, a Dallas resident, attended the parade where JFK was assassinated. He carried with him an 8mm movie camera, which he captured the most viewed 8mm footage of all time. I hold in my hand an exact replica of that camera, the Bell & Howell Zoom-matic that I purchased at a thrift store for $2 about 2 months ago. Although this event traumatized Zapruder, it is the most viewed 8mm footage of all time. 2 years later, Kodak released what is known as Kodachrome 40. It's a hybrid of 8mm film, and it's just a cartridge that goes right into the camera rather than reel-to-reel. I love it, and it's what I call sexy. We live in a digital world of internets, iPods, Facebooks, Yahoos, and HDs, but let us not forget that we were greatly influenced by an analog world, which is still alive today. So some of the common questions I get are, hey, why do you shoot in Super 8mm? How do you shoot it? And where do you get your projectors, your cameras, and where do you get it developed? So why do I shoot in Super 8mm? Well, Super 8mm allows me to get the selective focus that I want. There's a rainstorm in the back. That's my daughter. You can see it just adds production value, and it just is downright sexy. Speaking of sexy, this is my wife on our wedding day 10 years ago. And she's just happy and cheerful. 10 years later, she's just as happy and cheerful, married to a camera addict. So I shouldn't say camera addict. I'm just really passionate about it. Here's 38 of my 40 Super 8mm cameras. And yeah, my wife is actually what sparked my interest in Super 8mm. What happened in about 2003, I was over at my in-laws' house, and I found footage from 1979 of my wife as a little baby. And so just the sound of the projector, the color, the depth, it all just blew my mind. So I began shooting in about 2003. In the meantime, I found in my father-in-law's basement the exact camera that he used to shoot that footage on the last slide. So in 2007, I shot footage of my daughter and my wife with the exact same camera 28 years later. They're built like tanks. So Kodachrome 40, ironically, only lived 40 years. Kodak put it to rest in June of 2005. It was a very sad day in my life. However, they did replace it with what is called Ektachrome 64T, which is sexy, but Kodachrome was sexier. You can get it developed at Dwayne's Photo in Parsons, Kansas. You can actually take any of your Super 8mm, true story, drop it off at any Walmart, and they will develop it. However, they just turn around and send it to Parsons, Kansas, so you might as well just cut out the 2 weeks and get on with your life. So I love merging the two worlds. I shoot in HD as well. So I shot this at OC Tanner a few weeks ago. I just merged the two. That's 1080p now, Super 8mm footage. This is some of the footage that I've shot, Disneyland breakdancing. It just adds so much nostalgic feeling and character. Super 8mm is a beautiful thing. However, there's a time and a place for it. Unless you have a really good light meter on your camera, you can greatly under or overexpose your footage. Plus, it sometimes can take 2 weeks for you to actually view your footage, but it's like butter when you do. So what I want to say is that Super 8mm has outlasted VHS, Beta, and DVD. It may outlast all of them. Film is not dead yet. Abraham Zapruder was an unsung hero. His family received $16 million for the 26 footage he shot of the JFK assassination in an arbitration lawsuit from the federal government. However, he is dead. So, Kodak, if you can hear me, all I'm asking is please bring sexy back.